And it is a Monday, and I guess we're on time, sort of, kind of, maybe want to be. Good morning, I'm Rayford Brown. And I'm Kelly Knapp.
I'm Kelly Knapp. And I'm Lee Barrows.
I thought you were already sitting down. I wouldn't have thought, I wouldn't have started this so fast. But anyway, good morning. Hope everybody's doing well. Welcome to another week.
Another week.
Spring turning fall, turning winter again before the week's over. Phew, what a time. Nice warm weekend.
I know the weeds, the summer weeds are
warm
already
and
popping out.
Wet weekend, maybe, but it was a weekend. So
Good weekend.
Rain night before last overnight. Y'all weren't up, but I was.
I know. I
was
heard
up.
it. I heard it. I was up too.
Yeah, wind, rain, all sorts of mess out there. It is another week. And the way got to say, but it's wrong. I'm just going to tell you right now. This is.
I've already been schooled.
Yeah, it says that today is Washington's birthday.
Mhm.
The 22nd is Washington's birthday. Today is President's Day.
Yeah.
At one time, they used to celebrate individually just two presidents, both of them in February. One was Lincoln, the other one was Washington. And somewhere listed that I was reading yesterday, it said that today was Washington's birthday. Well, it's
I
not.
see it on the forecast right here. It says it, but it's not. You're right.
It's not.
No, it's the 22nd.
Well, it isn't.
Oh, well, we learned it in school as a kid.
I know you did.
It was the 22nd.
But you learned wrong.
They taught us
He was
wrong.
actually born in Virginia,
Mhm.
not even in 1731. He was born in 1732, but he was born in 1731. He was born on February 11th.
Sure that wasn't his twin.
February 11th, 1731 is when he was born. According to the then used Julian calendar, which 21 years later became, Great Britain adopted the Gregorian calendar, which changed his birthday by 1 year and 11 days to February 22nd, 1732. Boy, I had to be a confused man. No wonder he had wooden teeth. He chewed them all off.
What?
He had wooden teeth.
He had wooden teeth. Yeah.
And
I
termites.
knew that.
And termites.
Yeah. Okay.
How was your weekend?
Mine was busy.
Mhm. Good.
Doing nothing?
No, my sister and I went out thrift store shopping Saturday, which was fun.
Hmm.
Found some really nice deals.
Mm-hmm.
And
Anything that you really needed?
no, but it was things that I can use that I probably saved over $100 on.
Okay. Well,
So,
did you buy any stuff you could give away next year for Christmas? Wash
I
it, fold it, and put it in packages and give it
still
away?
have more bags to take down to our favorite store.
Oh,
I
okay.
took like 8 or 9 bags a couple months ago, and I still have more. So I regularly supply that store.
The big story up and down our coast over the weekend, strong winds with gusts in excess of 50 miles per hour. Power lines were brought down in parts of eastern North Carolina. Roads were closed while crews worked to remove trees and power lines. One man is lucky, I will tell you that. Yesterday, shortly before noon, an emergency call went out that this man took a his John boat, out to find his kayak that was blown away from his house in Sneads Ferry. He disappeared from sight. His girlfriend was watching. He just disappeared out in the river. The Turkey Creek Fire and Rescue Team located him, washed ashore at Courthouse Bay on the other, a long ways from where his house was. I don't know whether he had his John boat with him or whether he was in the water. If he was in the water, he was cold. I can tell you that. So here's one that's going to get you. Folks up in the mountains are mourning the loss of 3 mules.
I saw that. I just saw it right.
So
Yeah.
sad.
Played a major role in recovery efforts following Hurricane Helene last fall. The mules walked away from the fenced-in area after a tree fell, creating an opening in their fence. They wandered onto a road and were struck by a car last week. Mike and Michelle Toberer said the 3 mules, Vader, Amigo, and Kev, were part of the mule team they had put together to take supplies and emergency equipment to people trapped up on the mountains when regular vehicle traffic was not possible after Helene washed away a lot of roads in that area. A tragic end for three Three
It
really
is.
heroes, if nothing else.
I was listening to the news this morning because every morning they give a report on the mountain.
Mhm.
Spectrum does. And there was a church that finally opened back up yesterday that had been damaged. And they were interviewing a woman who has not yet seen her husband since the storm occurred. He vanished.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, it was
Wow.
really sad.
Wow.
She had left, and her husband told her, "Don't come home. I'll text you when I'm okay, whenever it's over and everything's okay." It's the last she's talked to him. So he's buried out there somewhere. Yes.
Oh,
So
man.
sad.
Yeah, those. I'm sure there are a lot of stories similar to that one
Oh,
too.
sure.
So, well, we got some possible mess coming in this week too.
Mm-hmm.
Potential on Wednesday going into Thursday
Please, let's hope
for a
not.
winter storm. This system has the potential to produce a wintry mix of precipitation across parts of eastern North Carolina, and the potential for some significant freezing in this area. This is from the National Weather Service in Newport. To our west a bit, we're going to be bordering on where it's going to be and where it's possibly going to be. It's they can't say right now that it's going to be here. To our east, back towards the water, is just going to be rain. But we're in that potential danger zone right now. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. I mean, we've had stranger things in February in the past, February and even March,
Very true.
1st of March. And
Well, we've got it written down, our predictions, and we said mid-February. So
we're pretty much in mid-February.
Yep.
We're going to see. Here's one for you. A Duplin County woman, 33-year-old Kayla Taylor. She's arrested on charges she concealed an overdose death. The story is a little bizarre, so you may want to take some notes. Duplin deputies responded to an overdose call back in January and found the body of Robert Nelms at his house. Taylor was at the home at the time. While the deputies were investigating, they got another call of another overdose death at a different location. They found the body of Denny Jones at that home. That was his home, too. The investigation showed Taylor had been at Jones' home when he died and did not contact law enforcement before then going over to Nelms' home. She's in jail under $100,000 bond. A woman, she got her name Kayla Taylor, right? A woman named with the same year of birth, a woman named Kayla Lynn Turner was convicted of felony possession of drugs back in 2017, misdemeanor DWI 3 months later, selling drugs and felony manslaughter in 2019 tied together. All of that was in Cabarrus County. She served 7 months for the sale of drugs and manslaughter. She served 7 months for the sale of drugs and manslaughter. Another short stint for parole violation on another conviction, and she was rewarded for several crimes with suspended sentences. Don't get me started on the
Did you
judicial
say
system again.
7 months for manslaughter?
Manslaughter and selling drugs.
Well, the manslaughter is what attracted my
Both
attention.
of
I
them
heard
together.
the drugs.
She
but
had a total
Yeah.
combination sentence of 7 months.
How is that?
You see why
Informant?
I look up this stuff and want to know more?
Informant, maybe?
I know.
Mm-mm.
She's been busted again. She
But
She's not-
those charges you would think would gather more, but
they would. And then she was put out and she was released on parole too, and then busted on parole violation for one of her suspended sentences.
Wow.
So whatever.
Wow.
Well, our buddy, the great escape artist who was recaptured last week hiding in his fiance's home up there in Pamlico County had apparently disappeared 14 hours before his absence was detected at the Craven County Jail. With a little help from his cellmates, John Nye managed to remove a grate over a ventilation vent there, made his way through the system to the roof of the jail, and then made good his getaway. This has all been verified with closed-circuit television.
I bet they changed things up a little
His
bit.
friends on the inside reinstalled the grate after he took off and stuffed his bed with sheets and blankets to make it look like he was sleeping in. Apparently, the vent was not properly installed when the facility was first built back in 2009. See, we've heard this story before from around here, haven't we?
Oh, yes.
The sheriff's office has taken punitive action in the case and the investigation is ongoing. It's a shame that the current sheriff and staff have to deal with what was likely a failure back in 2009 to make sure the jail was up to minimum standards. From all reports, he was not. Nye was arrested last summer after shooting at Onslow County deputies who were looking for him in Hubert. Craven County had warrants on file at the time for attempted murder. Oh, my.
I guarantee you at Craven County where he was being held at, I guarantee you they've got a new system out where they periodically check on every single inmate.
Yeah, poke him with a stick or do something. But
14 hours is a little long.
Well, it was 1:50 in the morning when he finally got on the roof. So
Right.
they're not doing a whole lot of really close, wake people up in the middle of the night to check them to be sure they're there, right? So he had been missing since sometime in the evening before, and
But
they
you
didn't
think-
find it till the next morning.
Yeah, 14 hours later, though.
Yeah, from the last time they checked to the
Well,
next
wouldn't you
time
think breakfast time they'd maybe take a round or something?
Well, it was kind of early on a Sunday morning when they did it, but I don't know. I no idea.
Unless one of his partners ate his breakfast.
Would that surprise you?
No.
Mhm. You've been in jail, so you've been up there visiting, right?
Oh, yes.
Interesting places.
Oh, yes.
We
Yes.
signed Kelly up. We did get Kelly signed up for the next session,
JPD
right?
one, yeah.
Oh, we did. We signed you up.
Well, I won't be there because I'll be at work. So
Oh,
can't help
failure
you
to
on that
appear. They'll come get you.
yeah,
No,
my
there
cards
is.
come before that.
There's one coming up just shortly here. JPD, right, Police Department.
Yes.
So you can go ahead and sign up for it for you folks who would like to give it a whirl.
Yeah, we'll have to get Sergeant Smith to come in and talk
Mhm.
about it.
Tell her maybe she could bring some speckled trout that her husband's not supposed to be catching right now.
And we knew it was going to turn to fishing.
Well, her husband's
Yes.
he's a fishing guy.
He's a
and
fishing
he
guy.
does a great job.
Oh, I did ask my friend because he was posting pictures of huge fish like this.
What kind of fish?
Some of them were trout, and I'm trying to remember the last
That's a
one, but it
big
was
trout.
huge. But I asked him, I said, I have to know where you're fishing at
He said,
because Rayford wants to know. And
He
he just
did.
started laughing.
yeah, I bet he did.
And he said, I will tell you it's in New Bern. And he said, just look for the big boats. So it must be over there underneath the bridges, the overpasses, right up in there where they dock a lot of the boats and
The
stuff.
big boats?
Yeah, not the big. We're not talking like Carolina Princess. We're talking about fishing boats, the regular boats, people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's where they're getting them out.
hmm
I tried to get specifics for you, but he didn't budge.
Well, if he doesn't want to tell me where he's catching them, just bring me the fish. He doesn't even have to
He's-
clean them.
He's got, I'll send you pictures.
As long as they're speckled trout. That's what I like. But he
Oh,
can't catch
he
them right now
had
until June. not
a
legally.
huge one.
Yeah, don't
Well,
tell
did you
anybody.
see up there, North Topsail, Surf City area? Someone had posted a picture of 100-pound catfish. I mean, they didn't get it from the surf, not from the
No.
ocean, but it was on their page that they had posted 100 pounds.
They got
they
some
actually-
big ones.
They actually put it on, and it broke the record for that area. They actually put it on the scale, and you saw it go to 99, and then they just waited a few seconds, and it hit 100. Big fish.
Yeah.
I don't like fishing for catfish.
I know.
They're mean.
What I'd like is to see those guys there that like to noodle for catfish.
Noodle. I used to catch them on crickets.
You don't know what I'm talking about, do you?
No, I do not.
Really?
I'm not sure.
Kelly, you've
that I
heard of it,
know.
right? Noodling for catfish?
Noodling?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, this is not
Explain
this is
it
not a
then.
fake thing, okay? These
Right.
guys will get down there and catfish will rest on the bottom, right? And they will
Mhm.
stick their fist down there in the water
Mhm.
and move it around, and a catfish will
Oh,
come
I've
up
seen that
and
before.
put
I
their-
just didn't recall
right
it being
around the
called
whole
noodling.
hand,
Mhm.
and then
No.
they will jerk that
Mm-mm.
sucker out of the water.
They have those barbs on the side right there.
There are
you
also
gotta be
alligators down there.
Careful when you take them off the hook. I'm like, I'll step on them and take the hook out.
No.
Just,
Yeah.
I don't like them.
I've eaten some wild caught catfish, those that
Mhm.
are feeding in the mud and stuff like that, and I just never cared for them. The farm raised catfish that I've had, delicious.
I
They
don't.
got those
I
that serve
don't
them in
like the
restaurants and
taste
stuff.
of them. They're too.
Well, if you had them in one of the farm raised catfish in a restaurant that prepares them right, you'd be good.
Up in the mountains, I've gone up there before. This has been a while back, and they have ponds where you can fish.
Mhm.
It's catch and release, and you use corn kernels.
Yeah.
Put them on the hook, throw that hook in there, boy, they'll latch right onto it.
Yeah.
Catch them with corn.
At the price of
Crazy.
corn, you probably would be better off just using
Food Line
artificial.
has them on sale $1 a can right now.
Oh, they used to be 15 cents a can.
Mm.
Oh, Lord.
Well, eggs did come down a little bit because I bought a dozen yesterday
Mhm.
for $5.89. The last dozen I bought was $6.99. So
Well, you guys got something you want to talk about today? We're kind of wide open. Feel free to ring us up, 910-333-0139. A lot of stuff. I almost said a dirty word coming out of Washington, of course. People are really unhappy. A lot of other people are really happy. And I
Mhm.
guess some of the surveys that are being done right now are showing that more people are happy than are unhappy, which is unusual. But then I heard last night that Donald Trump's approval rating had gone way down by 30 points. I don't know where these people are finding those numbers.
Seriously, because I saw it
That's not what I'm seeing.
Friday. It was
Yeah, that's what I thought.
73%.
I saw it big Friday. I don't know.
It's probably those people that either got fired or took an early retirement. I don't know.
If you survey those people, they're probably going to be, oh, I don't like him.
Yes,
Except they're being
yes.
paid to do nothing.
Well, you know what? If you go back to the days of Barack Obama, I mean, I was watching a person that he did while he was in there, and he was talking about trimming the fat off of government spending and looking for the waste and stuff like that. So it's every president, but Donald Trump is just like going into it like a hurricane.
Yeah, I was watching some stuff, older stuff back in the 80s, where George Bush was talking about it.
Yes.
And talking about the southern border. I saw Ronald Reagan talking about the southern border on some things about that being one of the biggest areas problems we had. I saw a friend of mine, an associate. He would be a friend if I had stayed around him very much. Doug McCullough, retired judge, Court of Appeals here most recently. Prior to that, he was a U.S. prosecutor for this district.
I don't remember him.
Oh my goodness gracious! Doug is
He had to be back in what, 70s, 80s?
80s.
Yes.
He was he worked a major case that resulted in the arrest of a dude down in Panama back in '89. When they finally caught him, he surrendered, or he was going to be killed. That was his choice. We sent our military down there, about 20,000 of our fine folks in the military, to make sure he did not get away. And there were a number of other individuals there to make sure he did not get away. And if he had tried to get away, it was not a capture mission. He would have been eliminated.
Wow.
Noriega, man, you remember Noriega?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the one. It started at Morehead City.
Oh, wow.
A couple of coasties saw a suspicious vessel, and they boarded it. One of the coasties on board saw pot, but he backed away, and he got aboard his boat, and he and his other buddy left. They got some bunch of people to come back to assist them, and nobody was aboard the boat, but the dope was still there. That was the beginning. I think that was 29,000 pounds of pot on board that boat. That was the beginning of the end of Manuel Noriega.
Wow. Yeah,
That
he
was
a
in
creature.
82 or 83 or something like that. A few years before that, another vessel came up in Pamlico County. I went to that one. That was had 16 tons of pot on it, 32,000 pounds. And that was aboard a boat called the Sea Crust. We renamed it the Sea Rust because it was, I wouldn't get aboard that boat to go
Sea
across
barnacle.
Catherine Lake.
Oh, gosh.
It was in bad shape. But anyway,
Were you,
we had a lot of bust all over eastern North Carolina, up and down the coast. Bunch of illegals were
You-
picked up.
you talked about, you mentioned the Coast Guard and bust and stuff. Did you read the story? It just happened last week, where after months at sea, the U.S. Coast Guard cutter Washi returned to San Francisco on Thursday with over 37,000 pounds of confiscated cocaine and one less crew member. They had a crew member that just disappeared.
Whoops.
Yeah. But they said that they offloaded their massive narcotics haul, which weighs about as much as a full-grown humpback well,
Mhm.
and is estimated to be worth $275 million. And that comes days after the search efforts were ended for 23-year-old seaman Brian Lee. He just disappeared. Don't know if he fell off the boat.
From a Coast Guard boat?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you were talking about one of the drug boats.
No, from
Or
the
the drug
Coast Guard boat.
Wow.
One of theirs.
Well, he's supposed to be wearing a life jacket.
Well,
by
I
their
don't
rules.
know. He was discovered missing at 6:45 a.m. last Tuesday.
Okay. Something went up on deck.
Yeah.
Not the first time that's happened.
He may have voluntarily left the boat on his own. I
could
don't
be.
know. But they suspended the search because, first of all, they don't know where he disappeared from,
No.
So God bless him.
Offshore today, winds going to be out of the northwest at 20 to 25 knots, gusts to 30 knots, diminishing to 10 to 15 this afternoon. Finally, I might add. Seas running 5 to 7 feet. They will come down 3 to 5 this afternoon. Sounds and rivers are remaining rough for the rest of the day. Sometime the late afternoon and to the early evening, they will start to come down. Tomorrow, northerly winds 10 to 15 knots, diminishing to 5 to 10 in the afternoon. 2 to 4 foot seas. Sounds and rivers, a moderate chop, diminishing to a light chop in the afternoon. Don't get comfortable. Easterly winds on Wednesday, 15 to 20, increasing to 20 to 25 in the afternoon. Seas 3 to 4 feet, building to 4 to 6 in the afternoon. Sounds and rivers choppy, becoming rough in the afternoon.
Today it'll be sunny, high of 50, 8 to 10 mile an hour winds with 17 mile an hour gusts. Tonight, clear, cold, low of 30. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, a high of 54. Tomorrow night, mostly cloudy, low of 34. And on Wednesday, 100% chance of rain, high of 40 with 17 mile an hour gusts.
You got your credentials that say you're a counselor, a mind reader, and a mind shaper on you. You're going to need them.
Okay.
Some disturbing news last Friday out of Indiana was revealed that a high school student planned to kill a lot of other students at the school on Valentine's Day, but he changed his mind. 18-year-old Trinity Shockley, remember that name, Trinity Shockley, faces conspiracy to commit murder. It's a confusing story. At best, Trinity is a transgender male, pretending to be a female. He confided in others that he wanted to prove to Nicholas Cruz that he was Cruz's biggest fan.
Wow, I haven't heard that name.
How does that work? His reasons for changing his mind will drive psychologists to drink, not a doubt about that. He did not want to be escorted to a police car afterward. That was one of the reasons he gave. He did not want to go to court and listen to all that stuff, his words. He now wants to become a gun activist to get people out of that mindset. His words. He would feel guilty about all of it. Those are the reasons that he gave for changing his mind. Lucky. Investigators said Shockley originally planned to commit the crime at lunchtime because that would present the most target-rich environment. That's what he told them. In messages with another person, Shockley said he had been planning the mass shooting for a year and was calling it Parkland 2. He also claimed to have an AR assault rifle. A tipster reported the threat to the FBI Sandy Hook tip line, stating that the suspect had access to an AR-15, ordered a bulletproof vest online, admires Nicholas Cruz, and that he would kill his best friend in the shooting first. The Shockley home had a variety of evidence indicating that the teenager had some mental issues. He also admitted to investigators that he had a breakdown on the 11th, that was last week, but none of his teachers would listen to him or offer any assistance. It gets worse. He also approached a counselor at school. She did nothing. His dad, Timothy Shockley, did not believe in mental health treatment and had declined treatment for this kid for many years since his mother had died.
Wow.
He asked for help.
Mm-hmm.
He got nothing
It's a shame.
from dad who did not believe in mental health treatment.
It's a shame.
What do we do?
Well, first of all, this kid is a female who is wanting to be a man. A trans
This-
man is born a female.
This one was born.
A female.
Are you sure?
Yes, first of all, Trinity's a female name, but second of all, a transgender man is a man who my friend is transgender man, born a female, and is in the process of becoming a man.
Okay.
So this is a girl because Trinity's a female name predominantly, but anybody that calls themselves trans male means they're a female that wants to be a guy. Second of all, I'm assuming we don't know how old the kid was when mom died, but obviously there was no grief counseling that should have occurred right off the bat.
Within a couple, 3 years ago.
Yeah.
But he's 18.
Right. So, especially when a parent dies, children should always immediately be put in therapy, bottom line. Third thing is I think it's a licensure issue for the school counselor who reportedly did nothing. Now, if that can be proven, they need to be reported to their board.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
Now,
So,
not
yeah.
that he or she is not
Yeah.
a liar, but
And you'd be able to find that out through records because, teachers, I get it. But teachers are often the first line of an issue for anyone anyway.
well, they should know the person better than
No better than
a
and
no-name
if this
counselor.
kid has been transgender for a little while, in a school system, teachers can tell you a lot about what goes on with the kids. They can tell you who the problem kids are. They can tell you who the depressed kids are. They can tell you who the promiscuous kids are. They know a lot.
Mhm.
It's not a teacher's job to provide counseling, but it is their job to,
Arrange for it.
point them in the right direction. Dad holds a very large bit of responsibility in this, huge bit of responsibility. So, and I've seen it here where kids have asked for therapy and or parents are refusing. Now, North Carolina does have on the general statutes that said a child can seek mental health counseling without parental permission.
Mhm.
It gets messy, but they can. It's a general statute. So, and same as for substance abuse treatment for that matter. Although it's very hard to get substance abuse treatment for a kid, but I think this is just a failure all the way around. Just absolute failure all the way
Yes,
around.
luckily, somebody tipped off the cops.
Yeah.
That's the only good thing that came out of this. And maybe the kid will get some counseling. Maybe he, obviously he needs it. He's an adult now, so he can get what he needs.
Mhm.
But
Yeah, it'll be easier.
but right now he's going to be in prison.
Yeah, I think that, and some prisons, depending on where you are, have provide therapy. It depends,
Mhm.
but some do, which maybe they will get. The problem is, depending on what kind of trans they are, it doesn't say they've actually had surgery. So,
I don't know. It doesn't say.
yeah, it doesn't say. I think it will be interesting to see how they're housed. What state did you say this
Indiana.
was? Okay.
Yeah, that kind of got me too about
Yeah,
Indiana.
that's-
High.
Well, it's just, things, I would think that's not going to be a hotbed of having maybe what this person needs
Mhm.
from other states. But it's just, this is an epic failure all the way around. And I'm glad somebody actually did report it. But, the fact that they changed their mind to me says that this is more of a cry for help than I'm actually going to go do something.
Having been in the works for a year,
Mm-hmm.
wasn't spontaneous, and apparently he didn't involve anybody else other than telling somebody.
Yeah.
Don't know whether that tipster that they're quoting here is the one that revealed that he knew had some information about it, because they've got some text messages going back and forth with somebody.
I guarantee you, if you were to do go back and do a timeline of events, there would have been red flags everywhere that
Likely.
this kid to me appears to be seriously crying out for help,
Mm-hmm.
and nobody helped. And it just came to this. It's sad.
The one person that he, had to text exchanges.
Mhm.
I think they were texts. It could have been emails, but I think it was text messages.
Mhm.
He was kind of like, "Hey, man, that's cool. Go for it."
Oh my Lord. Yeah.
You know,
And
so
that could have been that they didn't take them seriously, but I mean, this kid's friends would have known the turmoil
yeah.
that she was in. I mean, they
Couple-
would have known.
A couple of the quotes that they had, and I can't remember exactly what they were, led me to believe that this was not a real brilliant individual, just from the writings.
Right.
Not this guy, but I'm
Mhm.
talking about the guy that he wrote to and
Mhm.
responded.
Well, may
'Cause
not have been.
He sounded kind of like, well, he's missing a little bit.
Well, and it also could have been too that, sometimes, especially if you're in Indiana, I'm willing to bet that being a trans individual is probably not doesn't make you high on the popularity list.
Probably not.
So you are going to kind of.
He had hair very long
Mhm.
and a face like a male,
Mhm.
kind of. I was confused just looking at the picture.
No, a transgender male is a female that wants to be a man.
Mhm.
A transgender female is a male that wants to be a female.
Mhm.
So, but I mean, the fact that they changed, like you said, they said they changed their mind. I think this was more of I need some help. Somebody please stop me,
Mhm.
Before, it's just, this is a sad story all the way. And I think the parent, the dad is culpable. So I think, parents have an obligation to provide medical care for their children, and mental health care falls under that purview. So.
It certainly does, and it's not a joking thing or anything.
No, not
this
at all.
is a serious thing. I mean, it could have gone really
It could have
sideways.
run really bad.
Valentine's Day,
Mhm.
we all hear about. We talked about it here too, about St. Valentine's Day massacre. St. Valentine himself was beheaded on that particular date, or that's the date that they gave for when they said it, February 14th. But is that the time to plan for a massacre? Maybe. Maybe that's what goes through some people's heads. I don't know. So, I don't know. Well, we hear complaints from Democrats these days about revelations of government waste.
Yeah.
Democrats are complaining because we are all learning about how much waste there is in government. Billions, not millions, billions of dollars of examples of this waste in the first month of the Trump administration. That's how much we already know about. But still, Democrats are filing suit after suit trying to stop Elon Musk from continuing to uncover the scams that have impacted all of us for decades. I guess all my life. Why? If you can tell me, anybody, why would anyone, regardless of political leanings, want the waste? Waste? Is it waste or is it downright thievery? Let's work on that theory. If anyone wants to allow the scams to continue, I think there would be a reason for it. Anybody that wants, any Democrat or any Republican or anybody up there in the swamp rats, regardless of political persuasion, that want this waste to continue, they want to stop Musk from uncovering it and Trump from stopping it, there's got to be another reason that they don't want it uncovered, right?
Yeah, I
It's
agree.
been done for decades.
Yes.
Maybe those individuals or groups of individuals have been getting rich in one way or the other from some of this waste.
Well, makes you wonder how many that are like making $200,000 a year are worth $5, $6, $7 million worth. I mean, I tell you what, it's worth checking into. And they're reporting this morning the vault where they have $425 billion worth of gold bars has not been audited in years.
I don't know. They have them.
How do we know there's somebody who walked away with a couple gold bars?
Do you think these people who are opposing this, that they're saying, oh, you're just trying to kick out more children, the illegals that have come into this country. Yes. You're trying to get rid of them. And look at it. Look, this is what you're doing. This is what you're doing. I will doubt you any amount of money. I'll bet you that the investigations really cares a rat's butt about farming this country any more than they care about peanut production in Africa. Somewhat.
Well, you got that list that I sent you
Yeah.
that Elon found, and Doge was able to stop these checks from going out.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, that list was
I
ridiculous.
think we're going to find that is just the tip of the iceberg.
I mean, they were getting, Jennifer, they were getting ready to send $10 million to Mozambique, voluntary.
Mozambique,
How did you say it?
Mozambique.
Thank you. Voluntary medical male circumcision.
Yeah,
Circumcision. Why are we paying for that?
I'm not, but I am. I'm getting
$2.3
stuck with
million
it.
for strengthening independent voices in Cambodia.
If we dig deep enough, someone's going to find out that the taxpayer dollars for all of those projects is a cover for the personal gains that our high, big mouth politicians are getting.
Agree.
If you got a better or more realistic thought process about that, give me a call. Good morning, Jennifer. How cold is it now?
It's in the 20s. Feels like it's 17, I think.
Ooh.
The wind's blowing. Got
Yeah.
a pretty good wind chill. But no flooding right here with us. 40 miles from here, bad flooding. In
Yeah.
Abington, they've had a lot of bad flooding. That's north of us, Abington, Virginia. And there's, localized flooding, but nothing bad. But I talked to a guy the other day, and he lost his job. He was with the USAID.
Mhm.
He was in the woodchuck department.
And the
And it
what?
was real sad. He's in the woodchuck department. He said that they were very, very close to finding out how much wood a woodchuck
See,
With the-
I knew it. I knew
that.
Rafe was over here laughing. I was just like,
I
here we
knew it had
go.
to be there.
here we go.
How much wood does a woodchuck chuck, and a woodchuck can chuck some wood? I don't know.
and now we're never going to know because he lost his job. But I saw that on Facebook. I laughed.
Yeah, did you see the one
Well-
about the guy who was in charge of the committee that to do a study on what makes the wheels on the bus go round and round?
The motor.
The memes have been just crazy.
But here now, I don't know if y'all. I know. I'm sure you did when Elon Musk was talking the other day in the Oval Office when he had his little boy with him, and he said when it comes down to it, he said you have people that have a job. They're going into this job making, I don't remember exactly the numbers, but say $100,000 a year, and 2 years later the net worth is 1.5 million or whatever. He said we want to know where that came from.
Yeah.
Basically, and all of these people up there screaming and hollering. Well, the one screaming and hollering, the man on there the other day, they have no right with our money. And I thought, yeah, buddy, listen to yourself. Your money. Because y'all are the ones getting the kickbacks out. You're the ones getting rich off of it. But I want to know all of these people still screaming January 6th, January 6th. Trump incited the insurrection and blah, 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 blah. Well, what do they think they're doing? And are any of them going to be charged with anything when they start rioting in the streets and stuff because they're listening to these politicians up there screaming and hollering? And they're saying that, the Doge has no business looking into the personal things of the American people. Well, they sure didn't have any problem with Bank of America turning over everybody's personal stuff
Nope.
that was anywhere close to Washington, D.C. on January 6th.
That's right.
So what's the difference? It's what is fair for the goose certainly should be fair for the gander.
Yeah.
And it's just, if they could, I wish you could take some of these people and put them in a room and say, watch this. Look how stupid you look up there, screaming. You're 80-some years old up there screaming and hollering and cussing, and we're going to take this fight to the street. Well, they are pumping these people up. They're on the news media are talking, oh, this is just like Nazi Germany, and this is this and this. What are they going to do when the loose screw that we all know is out there says, I mean, they've tried to assassinate Trump twice. They are the ones up here putting all this into people's heads.
Mm-hmm.
People that are so impressionable, people that don't know better. Are they going to be held responsible? No.
Nope.
It just irritates not out.
Well, it looks like they would have learned.
Being able to call in and vent.
Really looks like they would have learned after January of 6th, 4 years ago. America should have learned something. I think Donald Trump learned a whole lot because he certainly changed. He certainly changed his attitude after that. But the problem is a whole lot of people got into a whole lot of trouble, and it's cost them. Some of them their jobs, some of them their freedom for quite a while. And I don't know what's going to come out of all of it. I know that he's pardoning a bunch of people, and there will be some that will not be pardoned. Those who were committed crimes, actual crimes at the time. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. But anybody that follows in those footsteps, be forewarned. Well, this is your warning shot, y'all. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen.
The hypocrisy of the majority of the news media, and of Lord have mercy, they had nothing better to talk about than, I wonder how much that cost the taxpayers for him to go to the Super Bowl. My God in heaven, Biden was on vacation more than he was ever at work. You're going to throw that out. The man hadn't even been in office a month, and that is your talking point of how much did it cost for him to go to the Super Bowl?
But you're going to where the public is.
But Biden never went anywhere other than
Delaware,
the beach.
He went to Delaware.
Constantly. And trust me, that cost too. I mean, that there was Secret Service around him. They still had to fly him there. I don't get it.
The report over the weekend was that he was, these figures I'm going to dispute. They said he had 537 days of vacation in the 4 years he was in office. If they're counting Saturdays and Sundays as a vacation day, which is what it looked like to me, that's just wrong. But anyway, he had 537 days off during the 4 years he was in office. Well, we all get 50 days off typically. No, we get 100 days off every year.
Let me tell you something.
Right?
Now,
if you count the weekends.
I'm probably going to get pushback on this, but now, technically, in my opinion, the President of the United States doesn't need to have technically a day off. I know everybody deserves, but you're the president. It's like being the cardiologist on duty.
Well, the president is like 24/7.
Well, it is, but I'll tell you what.
You can be the president from the beach.
If you're there as the president, and look at the young men, any of them who have gone in, who came out gray in with less than 4 years. I mean, they went in with a full head of hair, and it was a dark, and they come out and it's great. They work.
Yeah,
that's stress.
They have a lot of stress in their lives, and it's 24 hours a day. They got to deal with every media in the world, not just here. They've got to look at. I mean, they got a lot of stress. I would not want that job or any of the amount of money they got. No.
Oh no.
Well, I would too. For about 6 weeks, I could fix the problems.
Well,
Y'all wouldn't like me, but I could fix the problem.
Trump has done more in this first month modern day president that we have had. He's done.
Mm.
If he wants to go to the NASCAR race,
Well,
let him go.
exactly. And that's not, I'm not, when I say on vacation or whatever, he is there. He wasn't off. He was doing interviews. He was speaking. He was doing this. He was not asleep on the beach. That's what I'm talking about. There was way too many photos of Biden under an umbrella just laying there asleep.
Mhm.
That's what I'm talking about. I'll say till I'm blue in the face, the reason they took him to Delaware was to jog his memory, get him in familiar surroundings, get him pumped up for a couple more public appearances, because the man didn't know half the time what he was doing.
Yeah, kind of a rejuvenation effort.
But I don't know. They fought against Trump hard because they knew if he ever got back in there, he was going to do exactly. He's not doing anything he didn't say he was going to do. He's doing exactly what he told them he would do if he got back in there.
If he had not done it, I think the vast majority of the people in this country, those who elected him, those who voted for him, put him in office, I think those people would be really unhappy right now. I don't find any signs that they're really unhappy.
No, because he has done exactly what he said he would do.
Mm-hmm.
But
Jennifer, you brought up the rallies. I'm sorry, Jennifer. You brought up the rallies that the Democrats were having. Have you ever heard such filth coming out of somebody's mouth? Every other word was the F word.
Yeah.
And we're talking about congressmen and congresswomen and senators up there. It was filth.
If I was your average, ordinary, 40-hour-a-week, just your average middle-class Joe, and I was a Democrat, I would be embarrassed that was my leaders up there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I would, and I can't understand why they're not getting, maybe the pushback will come in the midterms. Maybe we'll find out. But I just can't understand why they're not getting more. The people that are still supporting them against Trump completely and totally, I can't understand how they can look at the likes of Maxine Waters and Hakeem Jeffries and ones that I've never even heard of up there. The blonde-headed lady that says, "Oh, I don't usually cuss, but," and then just like it was a big deal to get up there and cuss on TV.
Oh, yeah.
Just attention getter, that's all it is. You don't know what the real language is. You don't know how to articulate anything without stooping, going into the gutter. That's what it's all about.
I don't know what she said because they beeped it out. So,
Shucks,
darn,
I
gee
think
whiz.
she said the F.
It was the F-bomb.
And I'm thinking, that is so... there's nothing, in my opinion, worse than a woman that says that word over and over and over again anyway. And to get up there and do it just because you think, I mean, my God, that's like somebody smoking a cigarette when they're 15 thinking they're going to look cool. You're up there on national television cussing, trying to make yourself look cool.
Mm.
Go home, Grandma. Go home. Somebody take them on back home. They don't look, they look stupid.
Get in a rocking chair on the front porch for a while and just sit back and sip some sweet tea, some Southern tea. You'll be all right.
They look stupid and they look scared.
Mm.
And that's the main thing. They look scared because they know that they are caught in the net, and that net is getting ready to get up on the boat. And
there's no telling.
They know they're caught.
There's no telling what kind of criminal action is going to be, or possible criminal action. Criminal activities are going to be uncovered with all of this stuff. I'm waiting to see that happen. Financial, follow the money trail, people.
That's what they're
Every
worried
cop
about.
knows
Yep.
that. Look and find out where that money went, because by now
You're
they spend
exactly
it
right.
and they can't hide what they've done.
No, they can't.
But for all of you
I'll
folks who want to
bring
go
it
up there,
in.
all of you Democrats or all you Republicans or anybody else who wants to go to D.C. and rebel, get up there and raise Cain, you touched on it just a little bit with the Bank of America. Do not use a credit card to even buy the gas for your car to get there. Take cash, nothing but greenbacks, and take that and spend that when you're there. Wear a disguise, because they're going to come get you one of these days. Sooner or later, they're going to come get you. How's that for paranoia? Did I create enough paranoia then?
I mean, you're going to have to wear that mask from about home up because there's cameras everywhere.
You got that right. All right, Jennifer, you guys take care. Watch
Y'all
out.
have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Huh?
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, I talked to another one of the cousins yesterday. Well, we exchanged messages yesterday. We check on each other. And it had started snowing yesterday, and it had been raining, and I think 8 or 9 were dead as of yesterday. And he
Yes.
lived real close to that stuff.
Yeah, they
in
upped it
Kentucky.
to 9 this morning. And Phil, our friend Phil, who lives in Ohio now, he said it's 15 degrees snowing with a wind chill of 7.
Sorry, Phil.
Sorry about that, Phil. Come home. Leave.
Get that soup on.
Shirley, how's the weather out yonder?
I hate the fact that you guys know it's me. Hey, do you guys
Why? What do you got? You got something to hide? You got a reason you don't want us to know who it is?
You would think of me a new caller, like hello, Lorraine from Lincoln, Nebraska, or Dale from
Next
Detroit,
time you
Michigan,
answer.
or Frank from Florida.
No, they don't have an In-N-Out burger place in any of those places.
You know, it's funny. I'm about to eat an out burger. Anyway, listen, did you guys get a chance to watch SNL's 50th anniversary show last night?
I did
No.
not.
I started, fell asleep. I'm going to rewatch it today.
It's really bad. It's just horribly written sketches. Hey, quick question for you. I think maybe we've talked about this before, and I posted this in your chat log. Yes or no? Have I auditioned to write for Saturday Night Live at least 4 times?
Yes.
Yeah, I did. So listen, it was horribly written, horrible sketches, but they had Tom Hanks back playing this character called Black Jeopardy. Do you guys know the sketch that I'm talking about?
Vaguely.
God,
Saturday Night Live was not on my watch list ever.
I didn't watch it that often either. So I would say no.
It's probably bad. No, they did a sketch called Black Jeopardy, and they brought Tom Hanks on, and they basically showed him as a hillbilly redneck from the hills of Appalachians in the middle of nowhere, who's complete racist, and he's like, oh, you know these white people, you guys get what I'm going with?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So they basically had Tom Hanks as a white hillbilly idiot, not wanting to accept blacks. But you know what I've noticed about SNL? I noticed that of all the sketches that they did about Obama or Biden, they never over-exaggerated certain things that most people thought. Now, I'm going to be very careful how I say this. A lot of people think that Barack Obama potentially might have been bisexual or gay. You can go with that, but they never ran that. They never talked about his wife, who a lot of people say, she's kind of manly looking. They never ran with that. They never talked about Joe Biden's, his relationship with, the Ukrainian government. They never overly ran with that. But with Trump, they like to run with that. And it's kind of,
True.
Yeah, they like to run with certain, they have an agenda.
Mm-hmm.
They
I
do.
agree with that. I completely agree with that.
I mean, there's humor in everything. I don't know if Barack Obama's gay. He might be the straightest person since the history of Hercules or whatever. But there's elements that you could take to make him seem that he's gay, and you could play off that. I could write 50 jokes about that. But they always catered to him. And you got to think, I watched it. They had Will Ferrell back. The whole thing was horribly written. It was horribly produced. It was just, it wasn't good at all.
Well, I read a story.
I didn't like it.
I'm sorry, Charlie. I read a story this morning that Tom Hanks got mad and walked out. Have you heard anything on that?
No, I'll research it. I didn't hear that.
Yeah, research it. Let me know.
Well, but what was the element around that story? Why he walked out? What was it about?
I didn't read the entire story. I'm
I'll
gonna
look
let
it
you
up.
do
Hold
that.
on. Oh, now I gotta know. I don't. I
While
don't
you're
like
looking it up,
SNL.
I get a kick out of. I had a point that I wanted to bring up about. They keep on pushing the January 6th story, which obviously was a horrible incident that happened into the American history, where individuals did actually, they were violent towards individuals trying to get into the Capitol. But one thing they always fail to mention, they always fail to mention Antifa and BLM. They always say they're peaceful people. Remember all the rioting, the burning,
Yes.
the looting, the killings? They make it sound like these individuals just, they're like Mother Teresa. They planted flowers. And it's bizarre. They were responsible for billions and billions of dollars of damages and lives that were lost. I don't know what it is. Next time I'm going to call them to research it. It just popped in my mind. There was, I think it was a security guard in Chicago, Illinois, during the whole BML bullshit, whatever was going on, where they killed this man. He was a black officer.
Mm-hmm.
And he worked in a pawn shop. And he was killed trying to protect the pawn shop. But nobody talks about that.
Nope.
I'll next time I call him, I'll give you facts. It's really, the guy he's a great law enforcement officer. He was a police officer. And they broke into this business and they killed this, he seemed like a gentle, I guess, beautiful man. But nobody knows about that. So.
Well, you don't have to look it up,
They-
Charlie. We found it.
Mhm.
You found it? Seriously?
Yeah, it was a joke, evidently. Jimmy Fallon was hosting it, and he said
It was a
he told
concert.
everyone that this is just a concert and we're not giving out any awards tonight for SNL. And so they showed Hanks and his wife, Rita Wilson, walking out the door. So it was a joke. It turned out to be a joke.
She's not talking about the officer who was killed. That's a different story you're talking about.
She's
No,
talking
I
about.
know that you're an officer, and I have so much respect for you for what you do. You're basically putting your life on the line for me. I have so much respect for people like you.
Mm.
No, I'm gonna research it. Maybe I'll call you back later in the next
Okay.
day. This is a black officer. He's like
Yeah.
a beautiful man. He was killed. Nobody
remember that.
talks about it.
Nope.
All right, I'll research and I'll call you guys back in the time.
Okay.
Anyway, have a good day.
The violent death of a police officer usually lasts for 24 hours press time,
True.
and it's gone.
Mhm.
They've seldomly even covered the funerals. But Barack Obama sent people to George Floyd's funeral and
Mhm.
sent people to Michael Brown's funeral, sent all sorts of people to these places.
Yes.
Really? Really?
Hmm.
Well, I got a story for you.
Okay. It's 34 degrees, up to 34 degrees in the backyard right now, a little warmer out around the streets.
Mm-hmm.
And your story is?
Some creativity, Rayford. Drug smugglers are getting creative. This one's good, and it takes place in Beaufort County. So last week,
It might be creative, but it ain't real smart necessarily.
the Beaufort County Sheriff's Office, the drug unit, seized 148 pounds of crystal meth.
Yeah.
You know where they put it? In brick pavers.
Yes.
They don't have a photo.
Yeah, I
I mean, that
saw
took
that.
some work.
Yep.
This was not some on a whim
Nope.
thing. And this would lead me to believe this had probably been done a lot. Because they had to encase the containers of meth with the cement
Inside the
or whatever.
cement.
Yeah.
Well, just put it in the wet cement, let it
Yeah.
cure,
I mean,
and
this
you're
is
fine.
like-
You're good to go.
It's genius. I mean, you have to give them props for it.
Uh-huh.
Yes. So it doesn't say each container was 800 grams of meth,
Mhm.
quite a bit, to be 148 pounds, which is a lot. And there was 84 stone pavers found. But I'm wondering, it doesn't say if they know where the pavers came from. I mean, they're obviously not telling,
It
but
didn't come from your friendly.
yeah, they didn't get from Home
regular-
Depot.
That's right.
Yeah, very interesting. So, but good for the sheriff's office in Beaufort County, which is, for those that don't know, we're not too far from
I'm
here.
pretty sure somebody
Yeah.
ratted them out. I hope.
I would think. I mean, yeah.
I'm sorry, folks. If you do something like that, there's too many people going to know about it, and sooner or later, somebody on the other end is going to get caught and say, "Well, wait a minute, I got this bigger deal out here. This is what these people are doing. I got them out for you. What? Can you help me out?"
People
Yeah,
always
that
talk.
will.
Then I have another story.
tell me.
North Carolina lawmakers, they're on a bill filing
Oh, God.
rampage lately. So now a Republican lawmaker has filed a bill to make it would ban, basically what would happen is it would ban voter registration drives in North Carolina. So they wanted to make it a crime to hand out actual voter registration forms. That you can hand out a
Filled
sample
out?
form. Yeah, you could hand out a sample form, but
that-
not an actual one. And he's saying that it's meant to protect voters' information. The voting rights groups say it's effort to restrict
Anything you
access
put
to
on
the
that
ballot.
form is public record. Go to voter registration guides online. You can get all that same information that's filled out.
Oh, it's an extreme bill. It'll never go anywhere.
No.
Yeah, I don't think
It's
it'll go
very
anywhere.
extreme.
Think about it.
Yeah.
There's less than 2 pounds and 800 grams, by the way.
Okay. That's still a lot of meth.
Mhm.
It's a lot of meth.
Slightly.
Yeah,
under.
I mean-
it bans third-party voter registration drives, and you see that a lot during the primaries
Yeah.
because there was a group that comes down from Raleigh and sets up tables and
Here-
tents here.
Here's the part
Mhm.
that bothers me about voter registration drives. Kelly,
Mhm.
Lee could get together and we're going to have a voter registration drive. Oh, y'all come in. Yeah, you don't care you're Republican or Democrat. Then you through before you turn it into the Board of Elections, you throw everything away there that you don't like.
Mhm.
And you don't think that's happening?
Well, I know
That's the problem
exactly
with
what
voter
they're
registration
targeting.
drives.
Yes.
And also, don't forget there were those signs on the side of the road. We will drive you to the polls.
Mhm.
If you don't think they're not kind of suggesting who you vote for,
On the way
I got
there.
a bridge
yeah.
I'll sell you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
absolutely.
come on now.
Well, I was just like a former sheriff in a county that I know about
Uh-huh.
back in the 60s.
Mhm.
At least one of his deputies were at polls handing out moonshine. Hey, you're going to vote for so-and-so, aren't you? The man needs your support, right? He was handing out quart jars of moonshine that had been seized.
Oh my Lord.
Oh, yeah, that was a guaranteed. There wasn't too many elections ago that a law enforcement officer, a sheriff's office, a deputy in this county, took the county car in to get some work done on it. And in the trunk of the car were some signs, political signs, but not for that sheriff that he was supporting.
Oh, we talked about
Remember
that
that one?
the other day.
Remember
Yeah. That's
Oh,
right.
total denial. Said, no, they were in the wrong
Yeah.
place. Road. Well, that wasn't his job to go around and pick them up on the roads. That's somebody else's.
You remember this past February during the primaries, there was a story came out. It was locally here
Hmm.
where some voter registrations were found on the in the grass where they had been dropped supposedly. And someone found it and picked them up and turned
Did
them
they
in. But
all go for the same party?
I don't know,
I
but
guarantee you they did.
that Jay Randolph crowd from Raleigh, they come down and they do that. They're always wearing the yellow T-shirts with the black writing on it. Have tents, have a DJ out there, and they're right there at the polls during primary every single day, trying to get you to fill out registration forms. Which anybody coming up to vote is already registered.
Mhm.
I would say 99% of them. So, but they'll set up tables in shopping centers like New
Sure.
River or
The
different
Republican
places.
Party has done it. The Democrat Party has done it.
Yes, but this is supposed to be. It's not a party. It's a group of individuals, and it's very obvious with the contact that I've had with them in the past that they were primary Democrat.
Well, I've asked, of course, I
Which
was
is
already
fine.
registered and people didn't know me. When they say, hey, let me help you fill out your registration, dear, we'll get you registered to vote.
Right.
I say, well, who are you with? Well, I'm with the GOP or I'm with the DNC. Well, and then I always say, well, what am I? If I want to register to the other side, oh, we'll take anybody. It doesn't matter what we just want you to vote.
Mm-hmm.
Like when
I
we
don't
had our
buy any of
headquarters
that.
open
Mm-hmm.
and people came in to register to vote, the first time Trump ran, there was people coming in there that were in their 60s, maybe older also, that had never ever registered to
Sure.
vote, that were coming in to register. We did not ask them their party affiliation, but of course it was Republican because they were coming there. But we turned those in every single day.
Yep.
Every
Well,
single day.
If you do it legitimately, that's what you do. But
Right.
you know, how are you going to guarantee that if they're not the officials at the Board of Elections taking those registrations?
Well,
How
I
do
know.
you guarantee that? You don't. Did
Right.
anybody register to vote the last go around? Anybody listening? Any of you registered to vote that you thought you were registered to vote by somebody who was not a Board of Elections official, or you weren't at an event? Did they sign you up and then you found out on election day you weren't registered? I'd like to know about those.
Because how scary is that? Because if you they now have all your information.
Well,
Well,
you
I
can get
know-
that online.
I know some people that vote every year, register to vote, and they're on that list of like 60,000 voters that Jefferson Griffin is claiming where it should have never been accepted. And I'm like, how did you get on there? You vote every year. I know this person. She's very much into politics
Mm-hmm.
and into the party. So, I mean, her vote's always been accepted, and it was accepted this time, but he's claiming that it should have never been accepted. So, weird.
Yeah. Explain this process to me. Federal employee retirements.
Yes.
They process these every year, right?
Mhm.
People do that. Did you know that there are 700 mine workers, 230 feet underground? They're mine workers. They're in a mine. That they're hired, they're federal employees, to process using paper and a pen to process federal retirees. They're in an old limestone mine in Pennsylvania. This is what Musk has found out. They're slow. It takes months sometimes for those processes to even go through. You wonder if you were
Why?
fired because they're doing it by hand.
No, why?
10,000 applications per month, which are stored in manila envelopes and cardboard boxes.
In the age of all the technology we have,
230 feet underground.
why do they have to be underground?
They're miners. The retirement process takes multiple months. That
It
those
does, in
700
fact.
people are getting paid for doing something that a single computer could handle in maybe, 4 hours?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, why?
Not to mention the errors, whether they're intentional or not, from 700 people armed with yellow pads and pencils are bound to make. Here's another one.
Well, I can
That's
tell
just
you
one waste of our money.
that when I retired from the federal government, which was a while back, the retirement center, we had lots of phone calls and did a lot of computer stuff. I will tell you that while you're in the process to retire, do that before you retire. And it was like 3 months before I got my first retirement check. That's how
Uh-huh.
long it takes.
Uh-huh.
So
Maybe it's because these people up
Save
there
up your
in
money.
Pennsylvania working at 230 feet underground were doing it.
Me a gold bar.
Why do they have to be
I
underground?
don't know, because that's where the mine is.
But what is so important about this mine?
It doesn't rain down there. The Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA, inspired by Georgia's crackdown on federal spending, said it's located suddenly $20 billion in tax dollars within the agency that the Biden administration reportedly knew nothing except that they were wasting it. The Biden administration apparently knew that it was being wasted. $20 billion. An extremely disturbing video circulated 2 months ago featuring a Biden EPA political appointee admitting how they were tossing gold bars off the Titanic, rushing to get billions of your tax dollars out the door, he said before Inauguration Day. That's what EPA Administrator Lee Zeldin said in a video posted on X last week, citing another video from December. The EPA found that just 8 agencies were controlling the distribution of tens of billions of taxpayer dollars to different entities at their discretion. 8 agencies in charge of saying yay or nay to billions of dollars of your money and mine being handed out to various agencies, other people.
Mhm.
8 different groups. The Climate United Fund just received under $7 billion.
What do they do?
They manage the climate.
Climate
stop.
studies.
You stop right now.
The
What do they really
the
do?
Climate United Fund.
I gotta look them
They're
up.
The
climate
gold bars
studies,
were
yeah.
tax dollars. That was just what he was talking about. The gold
Right.
dollars were tax dollars. Tossing them off the Titanic, he said, meant the Biden administration knew they were wasting it. Don't forget the $59 million we talked about that FEMA took away from Americans impacted by hurricanes and fires and used it to house illegal immigrants in luxury New York City hotels. Many of those rooms rented and paid for were never even occupied. Okay, now we talked about this $59 million for the last couple of weeks, right?
Oh, yeah.
There was $59 million for these hotels.
Right.
$19 million of that $59 million actually was used to rent the rooms. Where's the other $40 million? I'm glad you asked. You didn't, but I did. $40 million were used for other services, including food and security.
Why do they need security? It's obvious we needed the security.
Trump was unhappy. In a statement, he said FEMA spent tens of millions of dollars in Democrat areas disobeying orders, but left the people of North Carolina high and dry. It's now under review and investigation. It's not under investigation unless somebody's going to go to jail.
Well, maybe it'll come to that.
Well, I have some information.
Okay,
on
tell
the
me what
Climate
Climate
Fund.
United does.
First of all, it was formed in 2024. The Climate United Fund is a coalition of 3 left of center nonprofit finance institutions: the Calvert Impact Capital, the Community Preservation Corporation, and the Self-Help Credit Union. Now, the coalition seeks to deliver so-called green technologies. It has supported Biden administration priorities, the American transition to weather-dependent energy sources, and my personal favorite, the far-left Justice 40 program. So I had to look up.
What is Justice 40?
I'm glad you
Tell
asked me that.
I have an inquiring mind.
You're gonna
I
like
know,
this.
but I will.
Because we keep
Where's my
hearing
drill?
Project 2025,
Uh-huh.
right? So this is kind of like the counterpart to that. Oh, it was formed in 2021, by the way. Justice 40 is a left of center and environmentalist collective that supports the development and implementation of new systems into federal government, institutionalizing critical race theory influence concept
What the hell
of
did you just
racial,
say?
economic, and environmental justice.
What'd you just say?
It's like DEI for
On steroids?
racial, economic, and environmental justice.
Jesus.
It was launched in 2021. Yes. And what do they support? DEI, of course. They
All the support
Support.
DEA. Let's get some drugs off the streets.
institutionalizing critical race theory involving environmental, climate, racial, and economic spending approaches. So basically, justice-oriented funding with those things. So basically, it's like DEI. This is a waste of money, personally. This is just a way to divide, in my opinion. You know, Theo keeps calling up and hollering about Project 2025, or what is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Well, then why everybody needs to holler about this Justice 40. The problem is you don't hear enough about it. They keep it under wraps, so to speak. I'm sure,
There is a whole bunch.
you know, this is the counterpart to Project 2025, I guess. But it's been around since 2021.
When Biden took
And how
over.
much money is, yes, interesting.
Think about all of the time.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Coincidence? Yeah,
Well, how
right.
much money
Well,
is Google's got?
how about this? 486 million to the Consortium for Elections and Political Process Strengthening, including 22 million for inclusive and participating in political process in Moldova, and
In where?
21 Moldova,
Where? Yeah.
Yeah.
Where?
and 21 million for voter turnout in India. Why?
All right, I got you, Rayford. Good you said that.
Blah, blah, blah.
You guys wonder why I'm a suspicious individual and I don't trust people.
On January 27th of 2021.
Uh-huh.
So remember, what,
7 days?
6 days after he got
Uh-huh.
sworn in, President Joe Biden signed Executive Order 14,008, the executive order on tackling the climate crisis at home and abroad. The text of this executive order outlines the establishment of a Justice 40 initiative in which the federal government will publish recommendations on how certain federal spending programs might be made toward a goal that 40% of the overall benefits flow to disadvantaged communities. How many people even knew he ever signed that thing? How many people knew this is
I
today,
doubt if he knows he signed it.
February, what day? February 17th
Yep.
is the first day I have ever heard of Justice 40. First time I've ever heard of this. And this has been going on since 2021.
There's just so much in the way of waste. I will guarantee you that there's, regardless of how much Musk and company and Trump gets in and tries to fix or gets rid of or what, there's more out there that they're not even going to come close to touch.
Because it's hidden.
It
Some of
is so
it is hidden. Yeah.
And it's hidden by people that hide themselves.
Yeah.
There are programs that have been put in place to give away. And the first thing that, you know what they do? You know what the other side does? They're going to have to take away Social Security to balance the budget. They're going to cut Social Security.
That's
They're going to
fear-mongering.
cut Medicare. They're going to cut
Social
Medicare.
Security.
They're going to cut
That's
Medicare and Social
fear-mongering.
Security. Now, if y'all don't shut up, they're going to cut Medicare too. And Social Security.
It's fear-mongering.
That's all they're doing.
They're going to go in there and they're going to find where there's been a lot of waste and fraud with Medicare. That's what they're looking for, not to cut Medicare.
Well, first of all, if you have had a job, you've paid into Medicare.
Amen.
It's your money
And Social Security.
and Social Security.
But
Every
there's some
paycheck
people.
you have, money comes out of your pay for that, and the business matches that money. That's how it works.
But they're
You paid
finding
into that.
millions and millions of dollars in Medicare fraud.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And that's what they need
Now go
to,
after the fraud and go
Mhm.
after the fraudsters, and that will be in the medical community. That will be in the individuals who are claiming. That will be in some of the. Oh man, it's just go after that, and when you nail them so hard that whatever they've made, they're living a fine life off of all those ill-gotten gains. What do you do when you find somebody that's robbed a bank or done a lot of drugs? They've made money off their drugs, and they buy a house. They buy this $700 million. You seize it and you sell it.
That's right. Just bringing up Medicare fraud right here. Here's some headlines. Dr. Alexander Baldonado convicted in a $24 million Medicare fraud scheme. Arizona couple must pay over $1.2 billion after pleading guilty to Medicare fraud.
How could they?
Salesman
$2
charged
million
in
worth?
Medicare billing
How they gonna
scheme.
do- That's a lot of money.
Yep.
They must, I would suspect they provided some kind of high dollar service like a surgery or some kind of like serious medical treatment to bill that
Yeah,
much
I was
money.
just
You mean
reading.
fake?
Yeah.
We're one here in North Carolina who had a business here and in Florida, had opened up like a Medicare, like a store where you could go in and buy equipment like potty chairs, canes, wheelchairs and stuff like that, which he was charging to Medicare, and it wasn't happening. There was a huge story on him just a couple of weeks ago.
I mean, but I think, this, anybody that wants to see how much they paid into the system over the years, you just go to Social Security Administration, ssa.gov is what the website is. Sign up. It'll tell you how much through your lifetime of working that you have
and
made.
here's the thing: if you had all of that,
Mhm.
and you had to force, and
I
if
check
yours
mine
went,
periodically.
if yours went into your own account,
Mhm.
just your account, and it stayed in that account during the entire time of your work career from 18 to whenever. 16.
Mine goes back to when I was
Mine
16
does
working
too.
at Burger King.
But
Mhm.
if They took out all that money and they put it into my account that I couldn't touch until I was 65. It's going to be a lot of money in there.
Well,
Plus,
that's
it's
what
going to
I'm
be
saying.
an interest drawing account.
And it shows.
But what they do is they put it in the regular general fund these days. They took it out of Social Security. They put it in the general fund, and the general fund, they just use it for everything.
But that's not where it should go.
No,
It
it
should
doesn't earn
stay.
your interest when it goes there.
It should stay in SSA because you go on there on SSA.gov, you put your account. It lists every job, what you made per year from the time you start. Mine started in 1986.
See, here's where the Internal Revenue Service gets you anyway. And I'll have to, maybe I'm wrong here, and if I am, Drew will call me and tell me. No doubt about it. When we work and we pay money into Social Security, into taxes, right? We do the taxes routine.
Mhm.
We pay that every time we get a check, right? Goes into
That's
it.
right.
And then at the end of the year, come April 15th, we file our taxes and we get this money back. Say you get $5,000 back. Say you get $1,000 back. Where's the interest on that $1,000? That if we had kept that money the whole time instead of giving it to them, they're using it to make interest, to pay or earn interest. They should give that interest to us,
I know. I paid
right?
33
I'm
years
arguing with
into it.
But every year that goes by that you get money back from them, that's money that you could have used during the year, or the money that you should have drawn interest on because you could have put it in the bank and drawn interest on it.
They're too busy hiring a million workers
Yeah.
to pay their salary with their
Uh-huh.
stuff. That's what that is.
To go look for the stuff. Yeah. So anyway,
Yeah.
that's my 2 cents worth.
Here's that story about
That's not all of them.
out
I
of
got
Greensboro. A man is pleaded guilty to a multi-million-dollar fraud scheme, according to a North Carolina federal court. He pled to conspiracy to launder over $3 million in connection with a $100 million healthcare fraud scheme. Court documents show that he conspired with another person to represent himself as the owner of 2 durable medical equipment businesses, one in High Point, North Carolina, and one in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. They used a falsified purchase agreement to make it seem as though this gentleman owned the business, when in reality, a co-conspirator was the one that was operating them. So he made false claims. The false claims were for medical assistance that Medicare beneficiaries never received, requests are needed, and that their health care providers never ordered.
Well, I don't know why any legislator, those 535 people we elect in this country to represent our best interests, right? That's what they're supposed to be there
Right.
for. I don't know why any state attorney general like ours, why doesn't anyone want to stop these scams? Why doesn't anyone want to stop the waste that our federal government has been screwing us out of since well before I was born, no doubt about it? Why is anybody opposed to this coming to a halt? Why would they not want to stop it unless some of that money is lining their own pockets?
Well,
I can't
a lot
think
of them are
of,
hollering.
I cannot think of another reason that
Yeah.
I don't care if he's a Republican, Democrat, or me. I don't care what you are. If I was opposed to them finding and stopping the waste, something's wrong. How do they line their pockets? Not directly from that money.
Well, sometimes they indirectly benefit from
Well,
stuff.
here's the way they do it. This money is used to pay contractors or to pay for equipment or to buy something. All this waste is not just thrown down the garbage slots. It's used to purchase something for the government, right? At inflated rates, stuff we don't need. Generally speaking, that's what they're finding up there right now. So if all of that's done, then all of the people they're buying it from, they're using selected vendors, contractors, whoever, right? The government is using these people. They're paying these people to do all this. These people want to be paid. So, Mr. Congressman, I need a little help here. Here's some money. I'm going to give you some money for your election. I'm going to throw you a party. Come on down.
Yeah, I
Let's
agree with
meet some people.
that. I think it's crap, but yeah.
That's where how
agree
they're
with
getting the money. It's not going directly from
Mhm.
the federal government into their pockets because that's traceable. But it's coming from the vendors and the contractors. Why are
Mhm.
why do they think we're so stupid that we can't see that?
Well,
We just
because
don't do
in
anything
the
about it.
But in that and in the past, no one's looked.
It's always been done that way.
So, I mean, they're all losing their minds over this whole Doge thing. I mean, and
It's-
I'll be the first to admit, I think Elon Musk's a weirdo.
Oh, so what?
Never been a fan of him.
I'm a weirdo.
But I mean, in terms of that,
I think he's a brilliant man.
I think I'm very
Eccentric.
appreciative. He's very eccentric, and his
Yes.
kids'
He's
names are very bizarre. But whatever, that's on him.
Howard Hughes, you guys don't remember
Yeah.
him. You just
I know
remember
who
the
he
name.
is,
That's
yeah.
all
I
right.
remember the
He was
stories.
eccentric. He was
Yes.
really eccentric.
But
A brilliant man that he helped this country a lot.
I think
They
that
turned to him a lot.
Doge is definitely doing what we wanted them to do.
Absolutely.
Well, aren't you mad? It's Charlie. Aren't you? It's
ticked.
Lorraine from New Hampshire.
What?
Lorraine from New Hampshire is on the line.
You're killing me right now.
Hello, Lorraine. How are you doing up there in New Hampshire? Kind of chilly and snowy up there right now?
Yeah, this is right.
Yeah, they think they're comedians.
I didn't do it.
Hey, Kelly,
Yes,
can I ask you a question?
yes.
You seem educated. You have a degree. Very respectfully, what is your degree in? Are you a psychologist, a psychiatrist?
I have 2 master's degree. One is in human services counseling, and one is in marriage and family therapy.
And she's also got one we're putting up with a husband that she's got.
Amen on that.
Just kidding, Robin. I'm just kidding. He's a
Sorry.
nice guy.
Yeah, that's my 2 degrees for masters.
Hey, Kelly, you're a smart human being. Obviously, I call into this program many times. You can dissect that, hey, this Charlie guy has a few issues or two. Do you think you could help me? Or actually, do you think that you could, actually, I don't know what I'm calling about.
Do you want her to help you over the radio, or do you want to
No,
help
I
her?
would not do that
I
on
know,
the
but
radio.
is that what you're asking for, or?
Well, no, I'm fascinated by anybody that has a degree in psychology, psychiatry, and they believe that they have an understanding of how to help people. And I would never, ever put her down. But I'm just curious, what is it about you with your educational background that says, listen, if you come to me and you pay me $100 an hour, $200 an hour, $300 an hour, I can help you. And I promise you, I'm not trying to be disrespectful to you. What is it about you that you could help people like me that have? You remember? I asked you a question a couple of days ago, and I said you described me in one word. You said intense.
I did.
So I'm just curious. Listen, I'm kind of lost. I'm in this navigation map of uncertainty. Do you think you could help me?
I don't know what you're asking me. Like when people come to me, for example, I work very heavily with trauma. And I'm a certified trauma person. I do a lot of military, active and retired and former with PTSD issues. I do a lot of childhood trauma, but a lot of their stuff is very specific. So I don't know what you're asking me.
I mean, I thought you could just read between the lines and say, Charlie, you've called into our show 50, 60 times. I can kind of understand where you're coming from. I think there's something that you're trying to get through. There's something about you that I think you're looking for something, correct?
Agree with that. Yes.
All right. So here's my question. No, I'm absolutely lost. I'm at my age of life. I'm in this, I don't know the word you use. I don't know if it's quadrum or there's something, yeah, I don't know what the word is. I want to believe that you know what you're talking about. Put it that way.
Okay.
Do you know what you're talking about?
Yes.
All right.
Charlie, let me just intercede here just a little bit, if you don't mind. I think I know what you're getting at what Kelly
Dude, I'm lost.
well,
I'm
and
lost.
kind of
I'm
what
lost.
Kelly cannot say or will not say, because she doesn't know you very well. I mean, she knows you as a voice on in her ears right now. That's about it. She, she can read between some of the lines, but sometimes, I get different feelings when we're talking to you from one time to another. The longer I talk to you, the more days that go by, the more I can get into your head just a little bit. And no, I'm not a shrink. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a counselor. I was a guy that had to get into people's heads because I had to get information from them. That was another life. But, I can understand a little bit where she's coming from. She would need a lot more information from you than she's been given. And she would have to know that the information that she's getting, because right now, we don't supposedly know exactly who you are. You make a big point out of that. Your name, you say, is not really Charlie, that you really may or may not be in California, that you at some time you were in New York. I mean, there's a whole list of different stuff there. So as a counselor, I don't know where she would go. As an investigator, I would know that it's kind of scattered, the information that we get from you over the phone. So we'd have to narrow it down a lot as an investigator to get to the truth.
I don't know what the
Kelly?
difference between Kelly. I don't know what the difference between Kelly and Lee is. Lee is my favorite person on this show.
Well, thank you, Charlie.
No, it's not. It's not about being thank you. Thank you. There's just something about you that I trust more than I trust your other two co-hosts.
Huh.
You're not the first person to say that about me. I can tell you that very quickly because.
No, it's not a negative thing.
Oh, I know it wasn't negative for me either. I conned a whole lot of people, and then I turned around and arrested them. So I disappointed a lot of people. You understand? With glee.
Yeah, I get it. No, I'm listen. Here's my deal. I'm going to be very careful how I word this. I don't want to be at my last limb in life, but I think I'm there. But I don't want to be there. I think I've got much more to give, but I'm pretty much. I don't want to give up.
I want to see some of the comedy that you write because these ladies here will tell you very quickly. I love comedy.
Yeah, yours got to be better.
Oh, thanks a lot. I mean, I send them jokes all the time. I love comedy.
Do you guys think that I'm funny?
When you're trying to be funny, yes, I think you're funny. When you're not trying to be funny, I think I get mixed feelings about you then.
All right, there you go.
And I hate to be brutally honest, but I don't hate to be brutally honest. You got me?
No, I'm waiting for you guys to go ahead.
No, that's just the way that I feel. Now, let me just, may I analyze my partners in crime here for just a second? I know what you think and what you've said about Lee and Kelly, and I understand that. I understand what you said about Lee. There's a difference there between the two of them, significant difference. One of them works with people who are dealing with some strange issues sometimes. The one to her right, that's me, has dealt with people who have some really weird issues. Lee, she was kind of like a person who helped every individual that came through who was in need of assistance from the post office. The post office is a service department. It's kind of like, somebody that's helping everybody that comes through in a positive way. You didn't have to really get into their heads about anything.
No,
You
I
were
was
there
a
to help them. You
problem
were the good guy.
solver.
You were the good guy.
I was a problem solver.
Kelly calls it like she sees it, and of course I called it like I saw it.
And I did deal with a lot of negativity when I was working in a law enforcement related field. But for the most part, I had to be positive and I had to be giving and I had to be helpful. And I spent so many years in customer service doing that. That's why I have such a forgiving nature and such a half glass full nature. That's just me. Sometimes I'm too kind. Sometimes I'm too forgiving, but I never regret it. That's just me.
The world needs all sorts of people, Charlie.
That's right. We all make a team.
I'm listening. Go ahead. I'm interested to hear what Lee's response is.
That was Lee.
That
was
was
Lee.
me. That was me.
I apologize.
That's okay.
Kelly, what is your response? You're Lee. I'm a massive fan of yours. Kelly, what is your response?
I mean, my response is that I can be very honest, very blunt, but I have to be in my job. I'm not there when someone comes in, with anxiety or depression. I'm not there to,
Smooth it over.
sugarcoat things. It's just not in my nature. I'm there to help them get through it so they can work through whatever issue they have going on at the time, or even deal with past issues, childhood trauma, etc., and so that they can, live the life the way they want to, and to be able to be successful at whatever they want to do. Period.
Hey, do you have children?
Yes.
I don't want to get. Listen, I don't want to get like cross any boundaries. But are they happy? Are they successful? Or are they just dealing with life stuff like all of us are dealing with life stuff?
Very happy, very successful, both of them.
That rocks. All right, guys, that's it. I'm not going to say anything else. You guys have a good day out there.
Charlie, you too.
Thank you, Charlie.
Things, and everybody's different. Kelly treats people in her profession differently than I do. Than I did in my profession. I got a different profession today. It's like, it's what I'm doing right now, having fun. And again, I would love to see some of Charlie's work, his comedy work, his skits, or whatever he does. I just love to see that. That would be great.
Maybe he could write a comedy for us. Oh, you talked him up, Kelly. It's Theo.
Hey, Theo. Theo's calling. And I got to go to work soon, so hurry up.
Well, yeah, you better not go to work until you talk to Theo. Hey, Theo, what's up? Theo? Hello, Theo.
Theo, where are you?
Calling all Theos.
Morning.
There he is.
There you are.
There he is.
How are you?
How are you?
I know what's wrong with Charlie.
What?
He's living in the wrong state. Hey, Charlie, come over to North Carolina. There are Steve Miller lovers and the Project 2025 lovers. They gerrymandering the whole state, and you'll fall in place. You would love it here. Come over here. And the weather's okay, too.
We do have good weather here,
And
for the most part.
and our coast is not falling into the ocean.
And we have clean
Us too,
coast.
too. Yeah.
We have clean streets.
Clean.
Yes. Yes.
How are you?
I'm doing good. It was Kelly that started it. Why aren't you saying Kelly?
No, I'm going to you because you want to know who the Medicare fraud is. The biggest Medicare fraud came from Florida. You know who was involved with it?
Donald Trump.
Oh, do tell.
No, Rick Scott. Rick Scott was involved with the biggest Medicare fraud in this country. They made him into the governor of Florida, and then he's a senior senator
Oh, I
for
forgot
the
about that guy.
Republicans. That's how you get promoted when you do things like that. All right, look at Rick Scott, and you'll find out.
Yeah, it said he
Oh,
oversaw.
listen, Rayford,
Go ahead.
Yes,
you know the Oversight Committee? You know what the Oversight Committee does?
which oversight committee?
Congress.
Okay, what do they do?
No, you tell me. What do they do?
Well, they're supposed to look out and see what the things that are being brought before them where they're screwed up. They're supposed to look at programs that are submitted for approval. They're supposed to look at anything, anytime there's an issue that comes up, they're supposed to look at it.
Okay, so the Republicans got two presidents this time. They voted, but they got two presidents, right? I saw him in the Oval Office. Time magazine had him behind the Oval, and on and on and on. The Oversight Committee is supposed to go with these programs, right? And if the money that they allot goes to where they say, and everything is okay by them. This thing coming in here now, Elon Musk and doing whatever he's doing, right? Is that normal? I mean, you okay with it?
So you're saying that all of the money that is being spent out there that we've been reading about is okay, that the Oversight Committee either failed to do their job or they just say it's okay? Is that what we're supposed to
The
do?
Oversight Committee is supposed to, that's how this government works, Rayford.
I
And you
understand.
want to change it? You want to change it?
No, I would like them
Then
to do
you
their
go ahead
job.
and tell them that you want to change it.
Have they
If
done
you
their-
pick
I
up
have.
somebody new,
I have told them
Okay.
to change it, but nobody's gotten around to it. That means Congress and the Senate, they're just not doing their job.
listen, Listen, the oversight committee is between the three people you were talking about: Republicans, Democrats, and unaffiliated or independent, whatever you want to call yourself.
I'm an
Okay,
independent.
that's the process that we use here. Yes, there's spending that should be there, but that's the procedure. Not somebody stranger with 19-year-olds and 25-year-olds coming in here, purging all kinds of jobs right now, making a lot of people uncomfortable for no reason at all, and not going through the process. Okay? When you have a billionaire that's purging the government for a leader in any country, it's called a coup. All right? Get it through your heads. It's a coup that's going on right now. All right? That's not how you do things. And that's what we have the oversight committee to go and look at these things and agree that we should stop funding this or eliminate this agency and on and on and on. Okay? That's how America works.
How do we get around to that? How do we get them to do the job that they're not doing now?
You
We don't-
vote for the
there's-
right people.
there
You
is
vote
not-
for the right people.
There's
Listen,
not another
you vote
oversight
for
committee
this
to
guy.
look over the oversight committee.
That's how we do things. You vote for the people that are going to do the things you want them to do. You voted for this guy, right? You were looking at signs all over the county that said, half of them said Trump low prices and Kamala high prices. Remember those signs that were half, top and bottom? Remember those?
I don't think I saw
Okay, what
any around
happened
here,
now?
but
What happened now? Did you get what you wanted?
well, we're going to see very shortly. 3 weeks,
Okay, after you
four
put
weeks
it-
into the process. We're almost 4 weeks into the process. So hopefully,
Okay. After you put a convicted felon in there,
okay.
okay, now you think you're going to get progress from this person?
I don't know. We'll wait and see. We certainly didn't get any in the last.
Okay.
20
the
years.
oversight committee is how we do things in this country. Not just bring anybody in here with his little cronies, the little termites coming in here and loading up the Capitol with termites that they're going to eat the Capitol inside out. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Anything else you want to talk about?
Yeah, I
you
need,
did fine.
I need something to eat. I'm hungry.
I'm hungry too.
Well, treat the girls to a breakfast. What are you waiting for? Put your hand in your pocket.
They go running away here. I don't buy it. I cook them.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cook them. Then go ahead.
Thank you.
All right. Take care. Have a good
Say
day.
goodbye. You too. Offshore today, northwesterly winds 20 to 25 knots, gusts to 30, diminishing to 10 to 15 this afternoon. Seas 5 to 7, 3 to 5 in the afternoon. Sounds and rivers rough, diminishing to moderate chop in the afternoon. Tomorrow, northerly winds 10 to 15 knots, diminishing to 5 to 10 in the afternoon. 2 to 4 footers. Sounds and rivers a moderate chop, diminishing to light chop in the afternoon. Wednesday, easterly winds 15 to 20, increasing to 20 to 25 in the afternoon. Seas 3 to 4, building to 4 to 6 in the afternoon. Sounds and rivers choppy, going to get rough in the afternoon.
And that's Lorraine calling again. Today, sunny with a high near 50, northwest wind 8 to 10 miles per hour with gusts as high as 17. Tonight, clear with a low around 31. Tuesday, mostly sunny with a high near 54. Wednesday, 100% chance of precipitation, high near 40. Wednesday night, rain with a chance of freezing rain, a low around 27.
And we don't have Lorraine. We got Charlene this time. Hello, Charlene. How are you?
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, it's Charlene.
Well, we're trying to help you out here.
We're gonna mess with you there, Charlie.
Charlene. So I'm going to be very careful on how I word this. Charlene. I hear you laughing.
You want me to write some of your material for you? I can help you out. The girls love me. Not.
Yeah, I'm trying to think about if I want to, how I want to present this, because it may come back to haunt me. Actually, if you're being truthful, can something come back to haunt you?
Yes, most definitely.
Really?
Yeah.
Sometimes,
If you're being truthful.
well, sometimes if it's going to come back to haunt you, maybe sometimes it's best just not to say anything.
Well, I mean, what do you mean it's going to come back to haunt you? I mean, somebody going to come back and come get you or something? Is that what you mean by haunting you? They don't even know who you are. You can't be haunted by that, can you?
Nah, what she just said makes me think that I should be careful about what I'm going to say.
Oh, okay.
If you're being truthful, can something come back to haunt you?
Yes, because sometimes being truthful is best. Sometimes it's best just to keep your mouth
Well,
closed.
let's just say if you say something, you're going to do something really bad to somebody like the president. Yes, that's going to come back to haunt you. But if you just want to say what your opinion is of something that is not violating any laws,
Well,
I mean,
you've got me thinking.
That's just, let me give you an
I
example. Let me give you an example.
I apologize. Go ahead.
I'm sorry too, Charlie. Let me give you an example. I had a friend. We were at a meeting and she started to tell me that this other individual was saying words about me, which, I don't really care. But then she started repeating some of the things that he said about me. And you know what hurt my feelings? Not the fact that this person had been talking about me. What hurt me was the fact that this friend of mine had to repeat it all to me. Why not say nothing? And that's what bothered me, because friends, I don't think, it was hurtful things. And why tell me about it? I mean, was it necessary? So sometimes, yes, Charlie, sometimes it's just easier not to say things if you know it's going to come back to bite you.
if it doesn't serve a purpose, then you may
Yeah.
want to think about it twice. If you want to get it off your chest, or you think that just saying it is going to help somebody or help you, fine, go for it.
Why don't you just tell us a funny
You
story?
guys know how I always get Kelly and Lee, their names mixed up, correct?
Yes.
Yep. Me too.
So who am I talking to right now?
You're talking to Rayford right now.
And
but-
Lee.
oh, there's Lee
No.
over here too.
It's Kelly, correct?
No, Lee is here.
Lee.
Kelly just left.
Hey, Lee. So Lee,
Yes.
there's something that I think I'm going to say that could potentially cause great havoc. It could dramatically affect my life. Should I think about what I'm going to say, or should I just say it?
Well, if it's going to dramatically change your life, you have to remember you're on a public forum and a lot of people are going to be listening. And maybe it's something you're not really ready to share, or maybe you shouldn't share. That's up to you, Charlie. But if it was me, I wouldn't do it.
Well, when you say dramatically affected, there are two ways I could be.
No. If I said what I'm going to say, it's going to make national. Listen, first, I don't know.
Gonna make national news?
Oh boy.
Oh boy, let
Well,
me get my pencil.
I had one of those a couple of weeks ago, and it's
Sheesh.
going to be making national news. It's already started.
but I'm not looking. I'm not looking for national news.
Yeah.
But I wanted. Oh, Kelly.
Kelly's not here.
Holy.
This is Lee.
Well, no, Lee. I apologize, Lee.
All right.
No, somebody in the chat room was saying, "Say it, Lee."
Right.
Nah. You know what, Lee? Hey, Lee. So, Lee, you're basically saying, listen, if I doubt, so Lee. Oh, dear Lord, I want to say it. So
Might
bad.
want to sleep on it,
I
Charlie.
want
If it's that much of a problem for you, you might want to sleep on it.
Well, is it
I've been thinking
something?
about it for the last 20 years. I want to destroy these people.
Ooh,
Oh, I
You
see.
guys
Okay.
both know that I live in California, correct?
Yes,
Obviously,
I
I've been
was
surrounded by it.
destroy these people, as in what way destroy them?
They're not good people, and they've caused me a lot of problems, a lot of pain.
Yeah. Well, when you say destroy, hold on a minute now. Let me put my other hat on. When you just mean destroy, how would you destroy them?
I don't want to destroy anybody. These are horrible people that have caused me horrific pain, and all of you know the names of these people. You know the names of these people. It's bizarre. I'm calling to your local show, live and local. I have no clue who you guys are. You're on the internet. I basically go online and I type in YouTube live shows. You guys popped up.
Mhm.
I've called into your show for the last 6 months or so. I really enjoy your show. But there's things that I could share with you guys. You're like, well, wait a minute, this guy's either out of his mind, or
No, I thought you were getting ready to say something that was extremely personal to you in a different manner. I didn't take it that it was you talking about these people hurting you. And I thought maybe it was too personal of a nature that you might want to share. So,
No,
but if it's going to get
Will it do you any good? Will it do you any good to event? Will it do you any good to vent? If it will, go for it.
to
destroy their lives. I want to absolutely destroy them.
Okay.
They've caused me so much pain, and these are famous people. And you guys know the names of these people. I'm a nice person. I'm not a monster.
So by destroy them now, let me go back to that for just a second. I want to be sure everything's good with you. You're not talking about doing any physical harm to them. Is that correct?
or
No.
yourself.
Okay, good.
No.
All right.
Well, it's not somebody that'll take out a contract on you, is it? After you tell us.
You
You guys,
know where Hoffa's living, right?
First of all, both of you guys know the names of these individuals. I
Okay.
just give their first names, and you would say these are disgusting human beings, and these are famous people. I'm not. I'm going to give you a couple clues. Go back 20 years or so back. Think about despicable human beings. Think about their first names. Think about if Charlie said, "You know what? He just presented his names to us." Absolutely, I agree. This is a despicable human being. What name would pop up in your mind?
Well, names that I know of right now would be people you don't even know, but I got a picture of one of them on the desk over there. He's now dead, thank God. I can think of a whole bunch of them. I talked about one earlier this morning. He's dead too, thank God. I can think about a lot of people that are despicable that should be dead, and they are.
Well, give me a name.
Manuel Noriega, Marcus Schrader III.
A name in California. A
Oh.
California name.
Oh, God.
Go back 20 years back and think about a despicable human
The
being.
year
That
2000.
you know that the monster.
I have no clue in California.
All right, it's fine. It's fine. I'm not. You either thought about it or you didn't think about it.
Well,
It's
it's
fine.
people that I know of, those are the people that come to my mind. I don't even, our politicians that we got around here, they don't
Oh
even
no, they're not
concern me.
politicians. These are politicians.
Individuals,
These are opportunists.
Mr.
No, these are opportunists. They're not politicians. These are opportunists.
Ted Bundy
These are,
was in your neck of the woods for a
what's that?
while. Ted Bundy was out in that neck of the woods. God,
I heard the word Bundy. I heard
Yeah.
the word Bundy.
Ted.
Oh no, I know what he's talking about. Oh, what's his name? Oh, are you
I heard
talking?
the word Bundy.
Is it having to do with Hollywood and script writing and shows?
You got Mr. Police Officer said the word Bundy. What
Yes.
word reminds you of Bundy?
Bondage.
Bundy. B-U-N-D-Y.
Yeah.
B-U-N-D-Y. You said Bundy.
First thing I thought of is that sitcom with the Bundys, Married with Kids, or
I didn't watch that either.
I watched it, and it just made me think of that because I know that he writes comedy. Charlie writes
Yeah,
comedy.
I mean,
and
if you're talking about
Oh.
the entertainment industry, I don't watch a whole lot of it, Charlie. I don't. These people, even the shows that I have watched that I kind of liked, I
Let me ask you
probably
this.
can't tell you the
Let me
names
ask
of the
you this.
individuals.
I'm going to hang up.
Okay.
I'm going to hang up after I say this. Okay? Ready?
Uh-huh.
all right.
You said the word Bundy. Bundy. Think of the word Bundy and O.J. Simpson. I'll leave it at that. Take care.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
All right.
Yeah,
I have to. Now I know. What was Caitlin Cato? No, and I don't know. I have to check that out.
I don't know. They're just a bunch of, the stuff that affects me here, and some of the things that I deal with and have, whatever. That's one thing. The things that we have dealt with around here. I got some film over there of a guy that's bulldozing sand dunes down the north end of Topsail Island. Okay, so he could build houses
Where's
closer
that
to the
at?
ocean.
Goes all the sirens again.
I mean, I see that kind of stuff, and those are the things that bug the crap out of me. So
Joy is calling. Joy to.
joy to the world. They're
Wow.
coming after you, Joy. I hear sirens.
Phew, there's a bunch of them out
I'm
there.
getting prepared.
What's
You know,
that?
I was thinking, is he talking about O.J. Simpson and murders, I wonder?
Yeah, I'm sure he
One
is.
day, I have
He
to
mentioned
look
Yeah,
that
Simpson.
and
up.
I'm thinking, I think, first first of all three of you have different personalities, and Charlie, I don't know if he's listening or not, but I'm from here, so I know all three of these individuals, and they all three have the same personalities. Not the same personalities, but they all are caring, loving people that care for people. They might come across as different people as you see them on the radio or hear them on the radio. Now, Kelly is in a different position than the other two because of her profession, and I know someone who's gone to several people, and Kelly was the only one that could really get into their head and really help them out as her profession. So with what she deals with, her personality is totally different from yours, Rayford, and of course Lee. Now, of course, you both have been in the profession of
Dealing with bad people.
yes, and I can't figure not LEO type work.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I mean, it's like Charlie needs someone, I think, that he can trust and go to talk to about whatever's going on with him, because it's like Charlie knows something, and I don't know, it's like Charlie has something he wants to get off his chest, and he wants someone to help him with it, but it's like he's afraid to do whatever needs to be done, and it's like he doesn't trust anyone. But all three, like I said, all three of you, I mean, y'all can't help Charlie. You can listen to what he has to say, and to direct him. But to me, it feels like that he needs some type of purpose. He needs to get something that happened years ago out, and he can't really trust anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know that you can trust all three of y'all. I mean, I do know that. I know that y'all can be very blunt, tell the truth, but I also know that you say it out of love and care for the other individual.
You must be talking about Kelly and Lee now.
No, I'm talking about you too.
He knows
you
we
can come
love
out with
him.
something, but then you also you've got that side of you that a lot of people that don't know you possibly don't realize. Am I sort of guessing right?
I hope they don't get to that side of me.
But Lee, of course, has been also, well, all of you have been around a lot of different people in your lifetime,
Yes.
and a lot of different jobs and different things. And I've listened to Charles several times, and I really feel for him, because it's like he needs someone. I don't think he can trust. I just think he needs to find someone somewhere that he can express whatever's going on within him. And I think he's carried this for a long time, and he's looking for some type of purpose or some type of closure. I mean, you can't get revenge on anyone. I mean, that's just not the way to go. I hate that he hurts if what he's saying is true, and they've caused him pain, because that's terrible, just like you said, Lee. We've all had those experiences where things have come back to us that people have said to us, even our friends, that we didn't want to hear.
Yes, I know you've gone through that.
Yes, and that's not a good thing. Now, like we said, we don't know, like I know all three of you, but Charlie does not know me or all three of you, but just the times that I've heard him speak, there's something deep-rooted. There's something that
There's something bugging him.
Charlie.
Something bugging him, and he doesn't know whether to say it or not. He's afraid to say it. Afraid not to say it. But I don't know.
I don't know if it's because he's reaching out across, maybe where nobody might know who he is, and that's why he's, getting on the shows, or what. I mean, I don't even know. I don't know if any of us. I'm not saying that he's not telling the truth at all. I'm not accusing him of being someone that he says he's not. But I really think he needs to find someone he can trust in the area, wherever he is and whoever he is, to discuss this with him. And I think once he gets that out, we know that we know Kelly's a wonderful person, even with her professionalism. Outside of that, she's a cool friend. I mean, but she has to be that position that she's in and be the way she is because of her profession.
Mm-hmm.
As of now, and I think he would like for Kelly to speak more up. And this is just me. Kelly to speak more up about what's going on with him, but she can't do that.
without sitting
my
down
own
and
take on
talking
Charlie.
to somebody other than on the phone.
Yes.
I can put on any persona that I want to. I mean, I have,
Yes.
even in person, but that was in a different life. But and Charlie, I think, can put on whatever persona because he's already in the entertainment field. He says he's written skits, he does comedy, he's done this and this. Okay, so I can see that he can be whoever he wants to be at any given time.
Yes.
So
I agree with you totally.
without sitting down and spending a considerable period of time one-on-one in person, not on the
Yes.
phone, it'd be very difficult to understand where he's coming from.
Exactly. And they also have places where you can call and set up appointments and do it on the telephone, virtual, where he would not even have to go, even another state. He could call another state and go online, and you'd sit there in front of your computer or on your phone, and you would have a talk with an individual.
Yeah. I know they've got that available. I can't see how that can actually work, to be honest with you, because I can tell you whatever I want to tell you. If you don't believe that, just pick up the phone anytime a strange phone number is calling you. They'll tell you whatever they want you to believe.
Well, that's true too.
And then they'll get your credit card number, your social security number, your mother's last name, and your date of birth.
That's very true too.
So
I would somehow find. Well, I don't know. It just seems like he needs someone to talk with.
He does.
That he can trust.
He does.
And get out whatever. And because pain that he's carrying is not good.
Okay. Well, maybe he'll call back tomorrow and we can convey that to him if he didn't hear you. But that sounds good, Joe. Thank you.
But I love all you guys, and even though you are whatever quackos.
We are deplorables.
I know you're so lovable and caring, and you do so much for our community. And Charlie needs to know all three of you are good guys.
Yeah.
He knows
we
that.
appreciate that.
He knows that.
I know he does. But everybody's got their same different personalities, and I just want him to know that there are people that can help him.
Tell a certain fisherman, if you know him, that if he's out there illegally catching speckled trout right now, I will be glad to dispose of some of the evidence for him.
Oh,
didn't I say
right
something?
Now running dogs, so I don't know. He's not speckled trouting yet, so he's running dogs.
Oh,
running dogs.
I think, plot dogs. He likes to hear them bark. Hello. That's like taking a golf course and hitting a little white ball into the hole. He's not listening to dogs bark.
Okay.
Anyway.
Come around my house and walk in the door. He'll hear a couple of them. Bark, 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 bark. Anyway.
Really. Well, y'all have a good day.
You too, Joy. Thanks for calling.
See you. Bye.
Something real quick.
Yes, ma'am.
Bundy is related to O.J. Simpson through the location of his condo, which was at 879 South Bundy Drive in Los Angeles. The condo was the site of the infamous evidence in the trial, including a glove matching one found at Brown Simpson's residence. So that's the
glove that
connection.
became the famous defense mechanism in court. Put it on O.J. Simpson and had a hard time getting that glove on him. If it don't fit, he got to acquit. Well, guess what?
Wow.
It's a leather glove. When you put leather in water and you let it sit out there, it's going to shrink. That was the dumbest thing that
we'll go in that more tomorrow, but it seemed like there was a civil lawsuit brought, blah, 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 and they've had time. Well, this
OJ's dead.
Gives me a little bit more.
We're going to talk about another situation with a former president, deceased. We'll talk about him tomorrow too, and a certain significant historical event occurred, and y'all might not even know about it because I didn't.
And I've got something huge I need to talk to Chris Miller about this week. So,
okay.
Oh yes, no, it's good.
We'll see you tomorrow. Save your phone calls until then. We'll be back tomorrow morning, beginning at 7:00 live and local right here. Where we're always awake. Well, sometimes we're always awake. Seemed like I was a lot this weekend, but we're never woke. See you in the morning. Bye, y'all.